Hola, I'm Patch, and today we're going to be continuing to read Barbed Wire Baseball, written by Marissa Moss. The three of them scrounged wood from the fence surrounding the camp. They removed every other post, careful not to damage the fencing. Then they took wood from the camp lumberyard. That gave them enough material to build a backstop and 5 rows of bleachers behind it. The next day they set to work again, this time sawing wood and nailing boards. When Howard finished hammering the last row of seats, he wiped the sweat from his forehead and gaped at what they had made. There, in the middle of the desert, on the edge of an internment camp, was an official-looking baseball field. The rest of the place slumped, dreary and sad, but the baseball field glowed green with hope. "Now, Dad?" Harvey asked. "Almost," Zenny smiled. "We have the field. Now we need the equipment." He passed a hat among the families, collecting money for gear. In an hour he had enough to send for bats, balls, mitts, and hats from Holman's Sporting Goods back home in Fresno. Several women sewed uniforms out of potato sacks. When the box of equipment arrived, Zenny let Howard open it. "Now, Howard," he said. "Now we can play ball." That first game on a bright May day, half the camp turned out to watch the teams that Zenny had organized. A breeze stirred the new grass. The sun bathed everything in a gentle warmth. It was a perfect day for a baseball game. 6,000 people filled the bleachers and spilled onto the scrubby ground behind them and along the sides of the stands. Zenny leaned over the home plate, the bat held firmly in his hands. He looked at Howard, already on first base, at Harvey, now on second, at the neat white lines marking the field. His eyes scanned the bleachers filled with cheering fans. He watched the pitcher cradling the ball, pulling back his arm, getting ready to throw. Then he focused on the blur of white as it zoomed closer. The weight of the bat felt so familiar and natural that it was like a part of his body. He waited until just the right moment. Whack! The bat met the ball with a crisp, splintering sound. Zenny threw the bat down and ran. He ran to the first base, then second, then third, his eyes following the arc of the ball as it soared up and away, far over the barbed wire fence. Howard and Harvey jogged to home plate before him, arms raised, grins plastered on their faces. "Now!" they yelled. "Now!" "Now!" Zenny shouted back. He knew he was still behind a barbed wire fence, but he felt completely free, as airy and light as the ball he had sent flying. Right now, there was nothing else he wanted to do. Just this. Right now, right here. It didn't matter whether his team won or lost. Like the powerful champion he was, he felt he could touch the sky if he wanted. "Now!" he roared as he crossed home plate. He felt 10 feet tall, playing the game he loved so much. Nothing would ever make him feel small again.